Um, Hello, my name is KLIAKHIN. We're a group of 4 people: MATVII ALEKSANDROV, YEON HWANG, me, and Daniel PEKUROVSKI. The name of the leader that we interviewed is Kimberley Stewart. The topic of today's presentation is her experience, skills, and how she was managing her work.
Okay, I'm gonna go over overall background and summary. Kim is the program manager for students and technology at the English Language Institute at Seneca College. In her team, she has 4 lab technicians and 1 student advisor. Kim has been working in her administrative position for about 20 years. She is a collaborative leader who seeks ways to share responsibilities, ideas, and information, and is open to listening to the diversity of opinions from everyone on her team. Kim is an effective leader who has built traits, skills, and values over the years, knowing how to approach conflict management and leading through the change curve. As an administrative, Kim follows Seneca's strategic goals, which are equity, diversity, and inclusion. However, she sees a challenge in a unionized work environment, and some policies can be improved to bring more diversity to her organization.
So Kim said her traits as a leader have changed drastically over the years. It was highlighted that at the beginning, she was very determined and director-driven, more directing those who reported to her than working as a team. On the slide, you can see how that evolved over the years. So now she is much more persistent, open for group work, super honest, and strong-willed. She has no problem with speaking to her mind, but at the same time, she stated that charisma is not one of her strengths. In her opinion, main skills for a leader are integrity and intelligence. It helps to get to know what you are doing and how you should do it, especially before leading anyone. Kim holds collaboration as an important value in leadership. She mentioned how she visited a lot of leadership training sessions. In her opinion, the pendulum is swinging more to collaboration than leadership. The ability to listen and exchange information helps with establishing high-quality dialogue between partners. For Kim, the main reason why she stayed true to her values was understanding that collaboration provides more than just knowledge from a particular area. Professionals who tend to collaborate are able to develop strong internal relationships that enable companies to offer more. For growing as a leader, we might build our skills and values quite similar. She has a lot of experience in this field. From the 16th personality survey, skills that most resonated with us are self-confidence and strategic thinking. They are very closely related to those that Kim has. We would practice a lot in order to improve them and grow as a leader. Also, now we can say for sure that flexibility for us is one of the main values, as it allows not only to find opportunities, but also assess situation and environment that changes every day.
But I'm doing the managing conflict. So after listening to Kimberly talk about managing her team, it seems that she's naturally a collaborative leader based on the Thomas Kilmann model. She's willing to make it work for both parties and end the conflict with a win-win for everyone. One conflict that Kimberly speaks about a little while ago is how 2 staff members got into an argument over a cultural dispute, and it came very close to being a physical altercation. She dealt with it by separating the 2 staff members. Then she had 2 private talks with each one of them, asking why they felt upset with each other. She noted that removing any bias or personal feelings is essential so you can better understand them. After figuring out why each person was upset, she spoke them together in one room, explained to each other why they were upset, and helped them understand each other's opinion. When resolving the conflict, she used all 4 steps to remove the person from the problem by separating the 2 workers. Then she asked them why they were upset instead of just yelling or punishing them. She then figured out why they were upset, found a common ground for the 2 staff members, and Kimberly also had no bias, stated it was crucial to remove them before managing a conflict. As for the reflection, I think Kimberley's approach was very similar to the Fisher and Urey's principle, as she did all 4 steps when managing the situation. She separated the people from the problem, focused on their interest, gave them for a mutual agreement. All biases were removed in the very beginning, and it was fascinating to see how all the steps were actually used in a real-life application. Because Kimberley is a collaborative leader, she should be aware of biases or feelings going into a conflict, as she needs to ensure everyone's feelings like they walked away with something good. So everyone feels like they walked away with something good. Having a bias might lead to take away full potential of helping the person in the conflict.
So I'll talk about team building and leaders' approach. That was a tricky part to evaluate, because Ms. Stewart stated that she does not build culture intentionally. She believes that all co-workers understand her demands and believes in collaboration. She also mentioned that her role is not different from others, so she prefers to be on the same level with all the co-workers. Ms. Stewart stated that she believes that core values for team leader are integrity, determination, and perseverance, but she likes to share her responsibilities. Analyzing that from the perspective of 4 factors for building positive culture, I can say that Ms. Stewart's approach is a bit frivolous, because she does not provide structure to the team, but bets on their internal feelings of what's expected from them in their position. The stage of clarifying norms can be skipped because structure is not set up. From her speech, I believe that the cohesiveness in the team is in a good shape, but it's achieved because of her openness to communication and non-judgment approach. It was achieved. So I did not hear anything about metrics of success, consequences for failing, support of the system, etc. So I would not say anything about the fourth factor of promoting desired practices of positive culture, because of lack of information. So the leader's approach to building culture dramatically differs from course material, because it's not structured and not understandable for everyone in the team. It's based on individual sense of boss expectations from them on their positions. So to improve team culture and prevent some cases of disaster in the future because of misunderstanding before co-workers, I would apply the first stage of providing structure to the team, so everyone knows the goal they're seeking as a team and how everyone is connected to this common goal. That was interesting to hear about her approach to leading through change. Was very useful and helpful to see as an example in real business, because Mr. Stewart told us about leading her team through the pandemic crisis, which obviously was a huge change not only in the work environment but in everyday life. I was pleased to hear how Ms. Stewart described everything exactly following the change curve from shock to integration. As the pandemic hit, Ms. Stewart said that she was honest and fair, providing team with the big picture, was always open for discussion by conducting a lot of one-on-one meetings, ready to listen. At the stage of low mood in the team, she was always close by, motivating and listening to everyone. Really caring for people not losing their job, thinking about them, adjusting their responsibilities, less controlling them, not to increase the already existing stress in the team. As for today, Ms. Stewart states that the team is going through the integration stage, where all those skills received during the stress period are becoming a part of everyone's life, becoming habits. So she said that her main advice for leaders guiding their teams through change is to listen, hear, and be true and fair with your coworkers. So summing up, leaders' approach to leading the team through change does not differ from methods we were learning in class, and it proves their efficiency. The only thing I would recommend, not really recommend, but wish to the leader is to do reflection on the way that they have gone through the pandemic, make sure everyone made right conclusions and was able to recover and apply those new skills to daily work and life, enhancing team culture, because nothing is as uniting as achieving common goals through difficulties. Thank you. Daniel?
Awesome. So from what Kimberly described about her team policies for diversity and inclusion, she's happy as long as everyone gets their work done and is respectful to one another. She doesn't seem to have any strict rules or, have any restrictions. She even described, as mentioned earlier, her team builds the environment. All she prefers to do is watch over and ensure everyone is doing their job and is staying friendly. However, she does mention that equity, diversity, and inclusion is something that her job wants to be reinforced and is explained to all her employees. Kimberly mentions that the hiring process is the most difficult part of ensuring diversity and inclusion. She explains how hiring someone who can make the environment more diverse while filling a job position with the best candidate possible is difficult. Kim gives us an example of hiring someone for a position that needs the knowledge of technology. She explains how you have to choose between hiring someone who will make the work environment more diverse, but do they have a great set of technology skills? On the other hand, what if they have great technology skills, but they add nothing to the diversity? Improvements that were mentioned that need to be made to the hiring process. It brings the question whether you hire someone that will increase the diversity or you hire someone that fits the job description best. Obviously, she mentions that it's best to have both, but sometimes she has to make the choice of one or the other. For the reflection, Kimberly approaches to diversity and inclusion seems to be very fair and just. She includes everyone and thinks that you should be judged on what work you can do, not what disadvantages you may have. One recommendation we gave Kimberly is something we spoke about in class, about using the multi-level process, and specifically the organizational portion to help her with the hiring process, as that seems to be an area which she struggles with. Thank you.
So, to conclude the whole interview, in the comparison, Ms. Stewart's experience is very similar to class concept, especially to managing through change section. She explained how she was leading her team through the pandemic crisis and which tactics she used, same as it was discussed in the course. At the stage of low mode, in the team, she was always close by to motivate and help everyone. Team's main goal was to talk, listen, and hear, and it's not only support and creation of better relationship, but also better and wider picture of the situation in the team and members itself.
Another comparison is influencing skills. We learn in the course that influence is a definition of a leadership. Kim is highly influential as a leader. She has a formal position and expertise, so she has all 6 bases of power, both formal and informal. But I believe that her source of power is more leaning toward informal. One of her most used influence tactics is consultation. As we mentioned, she thinks collaboration is an important value in leadership. She leads a collaborative team where everyone has their opinions in decision-making or working towards a common goal. She influences her team members by involving everyone and bringing their strengths and skills to be an effective team.
In terms of important leadership growth, I feel that one important area for my own is collaboration. It allows not only to get to know people and culture, but also experience. Through various collaborations, I can improve my current knowledge, and develop some additional skills.
What is essential for my leadership growth is being influential. I want to be a leader who improves productivity and teamwork through engagement and motivation rather than having power or authority.
I was very happy to see when Kimberly was talking about all the topics. We asked her like the conflict, the inclusion, the diversity leading through crisis, etc. She solved almost every problem that we had brought to her with what we learned in class. So it was interesting to see that she actually used the stuff that we're learning. This was seen directly when we were talking about the conflict with the two staff members, and she used her own version or very similar of the Vishanuri steps to resolve the problem. As for the area I feel is more important for me to grow is to how to properly solve problems using communication. Almost every problem that Kimberly encountered was solved by her simply talking to her team and being extremely open about everything. As she mentions, that being open to the team is very, very, very important.
And as for me, the skill of leading and motivating the group when you're not in charge was a key acquisition from this course. The speaker also, during an interview, described her experience during COVID of keeping the team motivated. She advised to always be open, fair during these periods, which was really helpful.
Thank you very much for your attention.